Hey guys, I'm back to Francis Entertainment Center. Last stories today are Caroling Capers and From the Oven. Enjoy the video. John is decorating his Christmas tree while Garfield and Odie are watching TV. When Garfield remarks that he's hungry, John tells him the turkey he's cooking for dinner will not be ready for a few hours. Garfield complains that he will likely starve by then and is then annoyed by Odie singing along with the kids who are singing Christmas carols on the TV show he's watching. When Garfield sees that the kids are being given treats while caroling, he decides to go around town singing carols for food. Odie wants to go along with him, but Garfield refuses to share the food with him. Garfield arrives at one of the neighbors' houses and tries to sing Jingle Bells, but the old man who lives there instead throws a pail of water in his face. As Odie laughs at his expense, Garfield tries again at the next house, and the occupant sticks a bucket on his head. The third time around, the man of the house squirts him with a spray bottle. Normal comes by, saying that Garfield's singing is the worst noise he has ever heard in his life, and Garfield challenges him to do better. Normal and Odie then sing Jingle Bells for the man Garfield just sang for, and the man adores their act so much he gives them a full dish of dinner that Garfield wanted. Garfield asks Odie and Nermal to share that food with him, but they deny his request because he never shares his food with them. He offers to help them with their singing, an offer they find laughable. Garfield tries to show off his superb singing voice, but it's so bad that a nearby tree loses all of its pine cone needles. Nermal decides that he'll let Garfield be their vocal coach only if he can hit a high C. Garfield manages to do this by yanking a hair out of his nose. At the next house, Garfield acts as conductor to Nermal and Odie and tries to coach them on how they should sing, but the woman who lives at the house sticks another bucket on his head. Garfield decides that maybe he just needs to sing in a higher voice. After some practicing, he sings in a falsetto voice. Unfortunately, the next person he tries to sing to also has a high-pitched voice and is offended by his singing. Garfield then tries getting Squeak and some other mice to sing with him, but a woman they try to sing chases them away with a broom. Garfield comes upon Odie and Nermal successfully caroling and is so peeved that they are better singers than him that he kicks a tin can into a nearby wheelbarrow. Noticing how good the tin can sounded just now, Garfield gathers a pair of sticks and some more tin cans. He then starts beating the sticks on the tin cans like they were drums and does this as the musical accompaniment for Odie and Nermal's caroling, thus allowing them to share the food they receive with him. Later that evening, John has finished setting up Christmas dinner and calls Garfield and Odie. They and Nermal come in, seeing that they're full from all the snacks they got during the caroling. As John leaves the room, astonished that his cat is not hungry for once, Garfield takes a look at the turkey. John has cooked and decides he probably does have room for maybe a few more bites. On a stormy night, Garfield and Odie are watching a Frankenstein-esque horror movie on television, of which Odie is terrified of. Garfield gets up to go to the kitchen to make himself a sandwich, revealing to me that it is Odie's birthday and that John is baking a cake for the occasion. From a small television hooked up on the counter behind him, John is following a recipe from Eddie Gourmand's cooking show. After realizing he's forgotten to bring sugar in from the car, he asks Garfield to continue the recipe. Garfield, unsatisfied with the idea of a smaller cake, heavily deviates from the recipe, adding a whole bag of flour, 12 sticks of yeast, a carton of milk, and all the chocolate in the house. John eventually returns and takes over from Garfield. While doing so, he drops the sugar onto the remote, changing the channel from the cooking show to the same monster movie Garfield and Odie have been watching. Though confused by the ingredients, John chooses to continue following it, retrieving his old chemistry set for the strange set of ingredients. Just as he is about to turn around to view the television, he pushes the mixing bowl against the sugar, causing the channel to change back to Eddie Gourmand, who instructs to put the batter in a tin and into the oven. John exits the kitchen to go watch the movie with Garfield and Odie. Just when the movie mentions lightning to bring the monster to life, a bolt strikes in the house, causing the cake in its tin to come to life. Garfield smells the cake and enters the kitchen to have a piece. He finds the light switch isn't working, and upon looking into the oven, he finds nothing inside the tin. Turning around, however, he finds the cake, now a giant monster, alive, and intending to eat him. Garfield's attempt to defend himself causes Rash's commotion, causing John to enter and find the monster. John and his pets flee out of the house and are chased by the cake throughout the downtown area, causing chaos. After John proclaims to have followed the recipe as was dictated, Garfield questions if Eddie Gourmand might know what to do. Meanwhile, during a break, Mr. Hodgkins, the studio head, tells Eddie Gourmand that he intends to cancel the program due to its boring content, much to Eddie's shock. Eventually, John and his pets arrive and enter the building, now being scaled by the monster. Just as the trio arrive at the room hosting Gourmand's show, the monster breaks into the wall. Realizing the situation, Garfield decides that defeating the monster now rests on his shoulders and starts a futile attempt to eat the monster using a giant spoon. Noticing the hole in the building created by the monster, Garfield attempts to escape through there, only to be grabbed by the cake, a stunt which Mr. Hodgkins tells Eddie is exciting and has saved the cooking show. The cake continues to climb towards the top of the building and ends up on top of the antenna. Garfield realizes the electrical conductivity from the lightning storm and is able to convince the monster to hold the giant spoon while he climbs down. Ultimately, the monster is struck by lightning, blowing up into hundreds of tiny pieces of cake, which begin to rain down, much to everyone's relief and joy.